It typically denotes the historical period before the 5000 of BCE. Research findings from the Chinese Civilization Origin Exploration Project suggest that around 5,000 years ago, a form of state had already emerged in the land of China. This corresponds to the legendary descriptions of a world with myriad nations and kingdoms, and this period is referred to as the ancient state era or ancient times. The origin and early development of Chinese civilization constitute a history that was not directly documented in writing. This discovery is expected to lead to modifications in Chinese history textbooks. The ancient figures in Chinese history include Yang Shi, Sui Ran Shi, Fu Si Shi, Shen Nong Shi, and Zhuan Xu, among others. Part 1. Introduction to the era. Historical definition. The historical period before the establishment of the Xia dynasty is collectively called the Ancient Era, also known as the Ancient Era, the Era of the Ancient Kingdom, the Era of 3 sovereigns and 5 emperors, and the Age of Mythology. Part Leader. 3 sovereigns before BCE, the 3077 BCE, excluding Huang and Noah, all are of the Shi and Ji surnames. Tian Huang clan, abbreviated as Tian Huang. Di Huang clan, abbreviated as Di Huang. Ran Huang clan, abbreviated as Ran Huang. Ya Cha clan, abbreviated as Ya Cha. Suren clan, abbreviated as Suren, respectfully called Suren Huang. Huaxu clan, abbreviated as Huaxu, respectfully called Huaxu Huang or Zhu Huang, the wife of Suren and the mother of Fuxi and Niuan. Fuxi clan, abbreviated as Fuxi, respectfully called Shi Huang, also known as Taihao or Chaihao Fuxi, clan in history. Niuwa clan, abbreviated as Nuwa, respectfully called Wao Huang, also known as Niu Shi. Ilias family is not the real name, deified in Taoism as Nuwa Naiyang Yang or Hu Chu Naiyang Yang. Shajian, Zhidian, in power in the 3216 of BCE. Shen Nong clan, abbreviated as Shen Nong, respectfully called Nong Huang or Shen Nong Dadi, also known as Yan Diji Xinian, son of Shadian, in power from the 3216 of BCE to the 3077 of BCE, ruling for 120 years. 5 emperors, the 3077 of BCE to the 2029 of BCE, Ji surname. Dilen Kui Di Kui, Zhi Kui, son of Yan Di, in power from the 3076 of BCE to the 2997 of BCE, ruling for 80 years. Di Chang, Ji Chang, in power from the 2996 of BCE to the 2937 of BCE, ruling for 60 years. Di Ming, Ji Ming, in power from the 2936 of BCE to the 2888 of BCE, ruling for 49 years. Di Ji, Ji, in power from the 2887 of BCE to the 2843 of BCE, ruling for 45 years. Di Li, Zhi Li, in power from the 2842 of BCE to the 2795 of BCE, ruling for 48 years. Di Guo, Zhi Guo, in power from the 2794 of BCE to the 2753 of BCE, ruling for 42 years. Di Yuang, Ji Yuang, in power from the 2752 of BCE to the 2698 of BCE, ruling for 55 years. Several generations in between. Di Chao is unknown. Huang Di, Ji Shuang Yuyan, son of, in power from the 2495 of BCE to the 2395 of BCE, ruling for 101 years. Zhuan Di, Ji Zhuan Xu, also known as Ji Qianhun or Zhuan Xu Di, son of Chang Yi now in power, grandson of Huang Di, in power from the 2322 of BCE to the 2245 of BCE, ruling for 78 years. Di Kuyu, Ji Kun, eldest son of Zhao Ji, grandson of Shaha, great-grandson of Huang Di, in power from the 2245 of BCE to the 2176 of BCE, ruling for 70 years. Di Zi, Ji, eldest son of Di Ku, great-grandson of Huang Di, in power from the 2176 of BCE to the 2168 of BCE, ruling for 9 years. Yi Yao, also known as Tan Yao, Di Yao, namely Ji Fengsen, second son of Di Ku, great-grandson of Huang Di, in power from the 2168 of BCE to the 2097 of BCE, ruling for 72 years. Shun, also known as Yushan, Dishan, namely Ji Changhiwa, oldest son of Zhu, 6th generation grandson of Zhuan Xu, 8th generation grandson of Huang Di, in power from the 2097th of BCE to the 2037th of BCE, ruling for 61 years. Gan, Jigan, later changed Xigan meaning. His surname was changed by his son, known as Changbao Gan, great-grandson of Zhuan Xu, father of Zhuan Xu, in power from the 2037th of BCE to the 2029th of BCE, ruling for 9 years. Explanation: the 3 sovereigns and the 5 emperors were tribal leaders or leaders of tribal alliances during ancient times. They were not actual emperors or kings, but later generations considered them outstanding or great and posthumously honored them as emperors. Origin of the ethnicity. Chinese civilization is one of the oldest civilizations in the world. Modern humans have struggled to decipher the writings of their ancestors, making it challenging to understand the origins and development of their own civilization. However, contemporary Chinese people can read texts from dozens of years ago and gain insights into the culture of their Chinese ancestors. Despite facing invasions from external groups and periods of foreign rule, Chinese civilization, known for its non-aggressive and profound nature, has consistently absorbed and assimilated invaders rather than being forced to adopt their language and culture. The Chinese Civilization Origin Exploration Project, dating back around 5,000 years, uses the Lianghu civilization as a representative example. In various regions within the Yellow River and Yangtze River basins, some areas were among the first to enter the civilized stage and establish their own nations. Starting from this point, approximately 3,800 years ago, over a period of more than 1,000 years, societies in different directions independently established their nations and entered the era of civilization. The origin of Chinese civilization can be traced back to the myth of Pangu, who opened the sky and the earth. The Pangu myth was documented in works such as San Wu Li Zhi, Wu Yuan Li Nian Zhi, and Shi Yi Zhi. Research based on the whole genome typing concludes that ancient ancestors migrated from the south to the north into the Yellow River Basin during the prehistoric period, giving rise to the splendid Chinese civilization. From around the 3000 of BCE to the 21st century BCE, the initial period of Chinese civilization is characterized by the 3 sovereigns and 5 emperors. The 3 sovereigns are further divided into the first 3 sovereigns, middle 3 sovereigns, and last 3 sovereigns, totaling 9 sovereigns. However, due to the ancient and mysterious nature of these figures, their specific details, such as their names, reigns, and governance methods, are difficult to ascertain. The term 3 sovereigns refers to the heavenly sovereign, earthly sovereign, and human sovereign, and their stories are ancient and obscure. The historical records are limited, and details about the first 3 sovereigns, including their ages, names, and governance, are uncertain. The heavenly sovereigns, earthly sovereigns, and human sovereigns are said to have shot arrows, and the 2 spirits emerge after their activities. After the 2 spirits, there were 10 eras. The heavenly sovereigns were said to be 13 brothers collectively known as the heavenly spirits, originating from Tianling Mountain. One of them invented numbers and subsequently introduced heavenly stems in earthly branches, contributing to their recognition as rulers. The other 12 brothers each led their people in different directions, establishing their own nations and reigning as sovereigns for 10,800 years each. The 3 sovereigns' narratives vary, but are generally considered to be Fuxi, Niwa, and Shen Nong. Legend has it that Fuxi taught the people to fish, hunt, and engage in animal husbandry. He introduced the customs of marriage, using animal hides as gifts, created the 8 trigrams, established writing, and implemented governance through nodding. Archaeological findings suggest that the earliest Chinese writing dates back to around 5,000 years ago, making Fuxi a true representative of ancient Chinese culture. Nuwa, succeeding Fuxi, is portrayed as the ruler of the world. She played musical instruments, initiating the art of music. Legend has it that she repaired the heavens with stones and controlled flooding by gathering reed ash. Shen Nong, also known as Yan Emperor, followed Nuwa as the ruler of the world. He is credited with the invention of agriculture and medicine, as well as the creation of the 5-stringed instrument. Shen Nong introduced wax sacrifices and established markets, marking the beginning of agricultural society for the Chinese people. The five emperors are Huang, Zhuan Xu, depict, Chang Ya, and Shun from records of the grand historian, the Annals of the Five Emperors. Due to the lack of direct written records from ancient times, events and the figures from that era are often challenging to verify and are often shrouded in mythological elements. Huang with the surname Ji or Guangsen, and also known as Zhuan Xu and Xu, originally lived in the northwest, but later migrated to the area in Shuolu southeast of present-day Shuolu County, Hebei Province. Shen Nong is said to be a descendant of Yan Emperor, with the surname Zhang and the titles Li Shen Shi or Li Shen Qi. At that time, the formidable 9 Li tribes in the south, led by their chief Qiu, contested with Shen Nong for control of the lower reaches of the Yellow River. Shen Nong, facing defeat, fled north and sought help from Huang, forming an alliance. Huang led the combined forces of the Yan and Huang tribes against Qiu in the Battle of Shuolu. With the assistance of the skilled strategist Fang Hu and the powerful warrior Lei Su, Huang achieved a decisive victory, ultimately killing Qiu. After the Battle of Shuolu, conflict arose between the Yan and Huang tribes, with Huang emerging victorious. Consequently, various tribes in the Central Plains revered Huang as their common leader. After the era of Huang, the most famous rulers include Chang Ya, Shun, and Xian Yu. Yu, leader of the Xianhu tribe and also known as Xian Yu or Da Yu, was of the Si surname. Legend has it that during the later years of Ya's reign, a great flood occurred. Yu's father was tasked with flood control, but after 9 years of effort with no success, he was executed by Ya. When Shun ascended to the throne, he appointed Yu to continue his father's task of managing the floods. Using innovative methods such as dredging and channeling, Yu successfully eradicated the water disasters. He became a heroic figure in Chinese history and was honored as Da Yu. During the time of Fuxi, officials were named after dragons, including King Long Ash Dragon, Kai Long Red Dragon, Bai Long White Dragon, Hai Long Black Dragon, and Huang Long Yellow Dragon. In the later period of Shen Nong, officials were named after fire, and during the reign of Huang, officials were named after clowns. These circumstances indicate that, up to the time of Huang, the political organization was quite primitive, essentially consisting of tribal leaders and a council. According to legend, during the reign of Emperor Zhuan Xu, 5 officials responsible for the 5 elements were established, along with the positions of South Sun responsible for sacrificial rituals to heaven and North Sun responsible for governing the people. This marked the embryonic form of political organization. During the reign of Emperor Ya, there were already legends of the 3 dukes, 6 ministers, and 100 officials in the central court system. They managed the 4 peaks, various vassals, as well as local organizations at different levels such as states, divisions, capital cities, towns, neighborhoods, and communities. In the time of Emperor Shan, there were officials such as Sigong Minister of Works, Sichi Minister of Education, Shi Minister of Personnel, Gonggang Minister of Labor, Yu Minister of Justice, Shizong Minister of Rituals, Zhai Minister of Music, and Nai Yuan Minister of Communication in the Central Court. Clearly, the legends about the official system during the reigns of Yang and Shan include many additions made by later generations. However, from another perspective, the official system during the times of Yao and Shan had already taken a relatively concrete form. Part 3. Economic and Cultural Overview. Archaeological discoveries reveal that the emergence of agriculture in China dates back to over 10,000 years ago, making it one of the earliest nations to enter the agricultural civilization. Researchers at the Newland Cave site in Ningsi, Guangdong, have announced new archaeological findings. They have pushed the dating of the rice phytoliths unearthed at the site to as early as 14,000 years ago. Based on this, it is inferred that the Newland Cave in Yingde is likely the origin of the world's rice civilization. According to the legend of Yan Emperor Shen Nong, about 4,500 to 6,600 years ago, agriculture in the Central Plains had already moved beyond the primitive slash and burn cultivation period and entered the Huang cultivation stage. Hu Ji, the ancestor of the Shou dynasty and an official during the reigns of Ya and Shun, was the earliest person to cultivate grains, specifically millet. Fuxi's legend of book and nodding. The legend of Fuxi and the invention of writing indicates that around 5,000 years ago, images had evolved from realistic depictions to linear representations, accompanied by the emergence of symbolic writing. Kanji's improvement of writing during Huang this era. During the time of Huang, Kanji made improvements to writing, introducing the concept of loan characters or phonetic loan characters. This marked a significant development in the evolution of written language during that period. Social life. Academically recognized, the Stone Gorge culture, dating back 4 to 5,000 years, witnessed the emergence of private ownership, class differentiation, and monarchy. 6 to 5,000 years ago, our ancestors had already started making clothes using hemp and silk. The enduring popularity of silk is well known both domestically and internationally. In ancient times, the scientific progress of Chinese civilization included astronomy. It is one of the earliest developed branches of knowledge in the history of Chinese civilization. According to the records of the Sanming Changhu, it states, the heavenly emperor succeeded the Pangu clan to govern and began to establish the names of stems and branches to determine the location of the year the stems and branches were determined to be invented during the reign of the heavenly emperor, as confirmed by the famous Ming Dynasty historian Wang Mining based on explicit ancient Chinese texts as documented. His work Sanming Changhu, the invention of stems and branches marked the appearance of primitive calendars. The 10 heavenly stems are Yanfeng, Shanming, Rushao, Tiangniu, Shuyang, Chuwei, Shangsan, Chongguang, Shuoni, Shaoyang, and the 12 earthly branches are Kundan, Chifenru, Shadik, Zhanei, Shiksu, Zhawangu, Zhanzang, Sitia, Chuwanchen, Suo, Yanmao, Zheiyulangshen. This invention by the heavenly emperor had a profound influence and was later used in various aspects such as calendars, numerology, calculations, and naming. In subsequent generations, during the time of the Yellow Emperor, the names of stems and branches were simplified into a single character as recorded in records of the Grand Historian and Iria, although the versions in these texts differ. Important developments include 1. Observation of phonology and the initial concept of annual seasons. This involves determining the changes in seasons through observing the activities of animals and plants. 2. Celestial phonology calendar, which determines the changes in seasons through the variations in celestial bodies. 3. Invention of the solar calendar. While the phonology calendar is a coarse and imprecise calendar, the celestial phonology calendar, despite some progress, still exhibits considerable variability. The invention of the solar calendar's timing is unknown. Records of the Grand Historian Yan knows of the 5 emperors mentions the Yellow Emperor welcomed the sunrise and pushed the strategy. The term strategy refers to a small bamboo or wooden piece. With each sunrise, one would move a piece of bamboo or wood. Among the various methods of solar calendar invention, the influence of the heavenly stems in recording days is particularly profound. The so-called heavenly stems recording method uses 10 characters, Jia, Yi, Bing, Zhen, Wu, Ji, Zhang, Shen, Ren, Gui to mark each day successively. This method later combined with the earthly branches to become the stems and branches recording method, which has been continuously used to the present day, becoming a distinctive part of Chinese culture. 4. Observation of the lunar phases and the yin-yang Zhuan calendar. Besides the sun, the moon is the celestial body that most captured the attention of ancient people. With the invention of the solar calendar, people developed the concept of a year consisting of 12 months based on the lunar phases, astronomically known as the synodic month, with approximately 59 days for 2 synodic months and around 354 days for 12 synodic months, closely resembling the length of a tropical year. Hence, ancient people easily obtained the concept of a year with 12 months. 5. Astronomical knowledge in direction determination, relying on the observation of the sun's position. Initially, people referred to the direction of sunrise as east and sunset as west. Medicine. The use of drugs, after countless trials by humans, gradually led to the recognition of the medicinal properties of certain plants. According to legend, Foxy in Shen Nong tasted 100 herbs, marking the beginning of medicine. The invention of acupuncture is mentioned in the Chronicles of the Emperors, where there is a legend of Fuxi crafting 9 needles for treating illnesses. This indicates that the development of acupuncture in ancient China was quite early. Writing system. In the historical civilizations of various ancient nations worldwide, the invention of writing is considered one of the most crucial indicators of the emergence of civilization. Ancient Egypt had hieroglyphics, and the Indus Valley had the Indus script. However, the invention of phonetic alphabets is a characteristic of Western writing systems, while Chinese characters initially featured pictographic elements. Part 4. Famous videos. Pangu. Pangu in the mythological narrative is credited with opening the sky in Yurfa Kunlun Mountain. The myth of Pangu is found in works such as Samulaiji, Li Nianji, and Shuiji. One of the early widely quoted records about the Pangu myth is from the southern dynasties, written by Renfang in Shuiji. Now, in the South Sea, there is the tomb of Pangu, spanning 300 miles. It is said that later generations buried the soul of Pangu there. There is a Pangu temple in Guilin, where people still worship. In the middle of the South Sea, there is the country of Pangu, and people today use Pangu as the surname. Heavenly Emperor Huang. The Heavenly Emperor Huang, the first ruler after the creation of heaven and earth, is a mythical figure in ancient Chinese legends. There were 12 brothers, some say 13 in total. The clan name is Wang, the given name is Huang, and the style name is Wenshang. Aliases include Tianling, Fan Wu, Qian Wu, Qiansen, Yuan Shi Tianwang, and Zhang Ti and Huang Zhan. They governed for a total of 1800 years, practicing the virtue of wood and ruling the world. The Heavenly Emperor Huang succeeded the Pangu Huang in governance. According to Luobi's Lushi from Chronicle 2, Heavenly Emperor Chronicle, it is recorded in Yu, there was the Heavenly Emperor, known as Tianling, Wang Huo, strong and respected, supreme and lofty, after ruling the world for 360,000 years. The Heavenly Emperor Huang ascended to the immortal realm during broad daylight, flying up to the Sangshuwan empty heaven palace. Legend has it that the Heavenly Emperor Huang is the father of the Earth Emperor Huang and the grandfather of the human Emperor Huang, the leader of the 5 dragons. Legends also suggest that Fuxi and the 3 emperors and the 5 sovereigns are descendants of the Heavenly Emperor Huang. Yucha Huang. Yucha Huang, leading the 5 Huangs, was a tribal leader in ancient China and is honored as the first ancestor of Huaxi and the navigator of civilization. Sui Ren Huang. The invention by Sui Ren Huang, the discovery of fire, enabled humanity to move away from raw food, promoting health, longevity, and the development of civilization. During the time of Sui Ren Huang, there was no written language, and the practice of recording events with knotted cords continued from the era of Yucha Huang. Fuxi Huang. Fuxi Huang, a tribal leader in ancient China, is credited with creating the 8 trigrams, developing writing, teaching fishing and hunting, and inventing musical scales. Legends about Fuxi Huang from ancient times have been widely circulated. Emperor Yan. Emperor Yan was the leader of the ancient Chinese tribe with the surname Ji during the ancient times. Also known as the Red Emperor or the Lishan Huang, some sources identify him as Shen Nong or Shen Nong's descendant. According to legend, his mother's name was RNS, who, during a visit to Mount Hua, encountered a divine dragon. Her body immediately responded, and upon returning, she gave birth to Emperor Yan. He was born in the stone chamber of Mount Lishan, grew up by the Zhang River, possessed saintly virtues, and was known as the Emperor of Fire Virtue, hence the title Emperor Yan. Emperor Yang was precocious. He could speak at 3 days old, walk at 5 days old, and understand agricultural matters by the age of 3. Throughout his life, Emperor Yan performed many benevolent deeds for the people. He taught them agriculture, ensuring an abundance of food and sufficient clothing for the people. To alleviate the suffering of diseases, he explored various medicinal herbs, even poisoning himself 70 times in a single day. He also crafted musical instruments, enlightening the people about etiquette, earning praise for generations to come. Initially active in the southern part of present-day Shaanxi, he later expanded eastward along the Yellow River, leading to a conflict with the Yellow Emperor. In the Battle of Banguan, Emperor Yang was defeated by the Yellow Emperor, and their tribes merged to form the Huaxia ethnic group. This is why today, the Chinese people refer to themselves as the descendants of Yan. Huang historians also support another theory, suggesting that the Yellow Emperor operated in the lower reaches of the Yellow River, west of Mount Tai, while Emperor Yan operated in the lower reaches of the Yellow River, east of Mount Tai. The 2 tribes clashed for supremacy in Banguan, also known as Shulu, both referring to the same location, around Mount Tai, where the Yellow Emperor emerged victorious and exiled Emperor Yan to the south, establishing the unification of Huaxia. Emperor Yan was the leader of the ancient Zhang tribe in China's ancient times, known as the Lish or Aolas ancient clan. According to ancient texts like records of the Grand Historian, Emperor Yan's surname was Yiki, and his given name was Shen. His mother was a lady named Yu Jiashi, with the courtesy name Rndng, who held the position of the chief consort. She gave birth to Emperor Yan. Growing up by the Zhang River, he earned the surname Jing. Records in Ngan state, Emperor Yan used the virtue of fire to govern the world after Fuxi. His customs were simple, emphasizing integrity, avoiding disputes, and ensuring wealth without imposing regulations. People followed willingly, and his influence extended from the south to Jiaozi, north to Yudo, east to Chanyu, and west to Sanwei, and all were transformed by his teachings. The Yuzhishu states, in the past, Shen Nong ruled the world, focusing on benefiting others without expecting repayment. He did not covet the world's wealth, leading to shared prosperity. He did not flaunt his intelligence, yet the world respected him. Legend of Emperor Yan. Emperor Yan belonged to the Zhi clan. According to legend, he had the head of a bull and the body of a man, possibly representing a tribal leader with the bull as a totem. Initially, this tribe operated in the White River Basin, while some accounts placed them in the Sea River Basin Lower Yellow River. Later, they moved to the middle reaches of the Yellow River and engaged in a prolonged conflict with the Zhuli tribe. The leader of the Zhuli tribe was Qiu, with a beastly body and a human face, copper head, iron neck, horns on his head, and hairy ears as sharp as spearheads. This tribe, possibly associated with the fierce beast as a totem, comprised 81 brothers representing 81 clans, known for their bravery and prowess in battle. Qiu expelled Emperor Yan to Shuanglu the Sangan River Basin in northwestern Hebei or Mount Chai in Shandong. Emperor Yan sought help from the Yellow Emperor, leading to a significant battle at Shuolu. Qiu invoked Fanbang and Yushi to create wind and rain, generating thick fog to disorient the soldiers of the Yellow Emperor. In response, the Yellow Emperor sought the aid of the drought goddess Ba, clearing the weather and creating the compass card to determine direction. The intense war concluded with Qiu's defeat and death. The Yellow Emperor emerged victorious and was acclaimed as the Son of Heaven. In another interpretation gaining support from historians, both Emperor Yan and the Yellow Emperor represent imperial titles. Emperor Yan's lineage resided downstream of the Yellow River, and later, the Shen Nong clan assumed the position of Emperor Yan. The Yellow Emperor's clan, with the surname Guangzhen, rose on the west side of Mount Tai. At this time, the Shen Nong clan had lost the ability to command the world. The Yellow Emperor began subduing vassals, accumulating strength, and engaged in battles at Bangun Shilu, Ruan Mount Chai against Emperor Yan's Shen Nong clan. Emperor Yan's Shen Nong clan was defeated, leading to the exile of Emperor Yan to the southern Chu region. Additionally, there was resistance from the southern Qiyu tribe, originally under Emperor Yan's Shen Nong, who vowed to avenge Emperor Yan. They gathered their forces, fought multiple battles against the Yellow Emperor, and achieved victories. However, the Yellow Emperor ultimately outsmarted and defeated Qiu, later quelling the remaining forces of Qiu's Shen clan in rebellion. This marked the unification of the world. Considering Emperor Yan's enduring popularity and public support, he was later recalled to assist in governance, and the Shen Nong clan was merged with the Yellow Emperors, collectively known as the Yan Huang tribe. Another account suggests that Emperor Yan's lineage resided downstream of the Yellow River for generations. In the later period, the Shen Nong clan assumed control of Emperor Yan's position. In the final generation of the Shen Nong clan, Emperor Yan, also known as the Lishan clan, faced off against Qiu of the Bangun clan, bearing the Zhang surname, a major eastern surname concentrated a young present-day Lindsay in Shandong. Donghe, Changshan, and Zhangxia are among its descendants. At a time when chaos reigned, various feudal lords rose, and the Shen Nong clan struggled to maintain control over the world. The rise of the Yellow Emperor sought to contest the imperial throne. The tribes supporting the traditional rule of Emperor Yan clashed with those supporting the emerging rule of the Yellow Emperor at Bangun, also known as Shulu. Bangun served as the last stronghold for Emperor Yan, and the final generation of the Shen Nong clan, represented by Qiu, fought bravely. Despite Emperor Yang's previous victories under Qiu's leadership, they were ultimately defeated by the Yellow Emperor Yuan Mount Tai. This ancient history marked a rare and intense large-scale battle. Chu was later revered as the god of war, with sacrifices made before every battle, symbolizing the tenacious spirit of the Chinese people. Subsequently, the Yellow Emperor took advantage of the situation, performed the Fengshan ritual on Mount Tai, established the capital in Tianfu, and laid the foundation for a unified Huaxia. Legend has it that Yan Emperor was the leader of an ancient tribe and, along with Yellow Emperor, is considered one of the ancestors of the Chinese nation. The Goyu Jinu records in ancient times, the Shaoxiang clan married the Qiashi clan, giving birth to Yellow Emperor and Yan Emperor. Yellow Emperor was formed by the waters of Ji, and Yan Emperor was formed by the waters of Zhang. The Liushi Guoming of the Song dynasty states, after Yan Emperor, there was a country of the Zhang surname. Today, there is a city called Zhuangxu in Baozhi, and to the south, there is Zhuan Xu River. The legend of Yan Emperor has been enduringly passed down in the folklore and official records of Baozhi. In the urban and southern suburban areas of Baozhi, there are Yan Emperors, temple and Yan Emperor's mausoleum. Descendants of Yan and Huang hold grand memorial activities every year on Qingming Festival and the 7th day of the lunar July. The Yan Emperor's clan had long-term conflicts with the 9 Li tribes, led by Qiu. The two sides clashed due to the development of their tribes, and Yan Emperor, unable to withstand the pressure, retreated to the present Hebei province. It is said that due to Yan Emperor's desire to invade the vassals, he engaged in 3 intense battles with Yellow Emperor of the Zhuan clan. This is considered the first large-scale war in the history of the Chinese nation, known as the Battle of Banguan, now Banguan village in the outskirts of Yangqing County. Faced with the formidable opponent of the Cholan tribe consisting of bears, leopards, mythical creatures, and tigers, Yan Emperor eventually succumbed, formed an alliance, and submitted to Yellow Emperor. Yellow Emperor concluded the war with a victorious stance. The alliance between Yan and Huang continued to expand, with more tribes submitting, but Qiu remained defiant, leading to an inevitable major battle. Qiu, leading the 9 Li tribes, engaged in a decisive battle with the alliance at Zhuolu, now Zhuolu village, Hebei province, marking the second war of the legendary era, known as the Battle of Zhuolu. In the end, Qiu was defeated. Since then, the Zhang clan has settled in the Central Plains, alongside Yellow Emperor. The term descendants of Yan and Huang refers to people tracing and honoring the ancestors Yan Emperor and Yellow Emperor in Chinese civilization. Yan Emperor also led a tribal alliance, as mentioned in the Liushi, claiming that he ruled the world in the 70th generation, some say the 17th generation. The Chengtiming Guisu mentions a total of 8 generations in 520,522 or 540 years according to the Yiwei Zhelanju, and the names of the 8 generations vary from Shen Nong in the Shanhaijing, Di Wang Shiji, and Lushi. It is generally believed that the last generation's name is Kan Liu, also known as Emperor Huang, who was unfifth to Liu after abdicating to Yellow Emperor and later called Liu Xianfen in the spring and autumn period. This was the Shidi Luxi state. After waxing in 5th Shen Nong, it was located in Zhao. In the 15th century Vietnamese Lin Shigai in the Hong Pang Chuan and the official history book Zhai Viet Suki Tong Du YG Wan Yi, it is recorded that Emperor Ming's third grandson traveled to the south, met a ferry, and had a son named Le Xu, who was in 5th Das, the king of Zhenjiang, ruling the southern region, and the country was named Chigui, including Vietnam. King Zhenjiang and the daughter of Dong Dingzhan had a son named Chongguan, in 5th as Heilongzhan, the earliest dynasty in Vietnamese history, known as the Hong Pang dynasty, Yellow Emperor. Yellow Emperor, the progenitor of the Chinese nation, the supreme ruler of the ancient Jia civilization, and the first of the 5 emperors. His family name is Ji, and he was born on Shuanyuan Hill, hence the title Yellow Emperor Shuanyuan Shi. He grew up by the Zhang River, so he also took Ji as his surname. Later, when he established a country in Yuxiang, he was also called Yuxiang Shi. He ruled with the virtue of earth, and as earth is yellow, he was named Yellow Emperor. Yellow Emperor is a legendary figure in ancient history, and one of the most exciting stories about him is the war against Yan Emperor and Qiu. In the end, Yellow Emperor emerged victorious and was acclaimed as the leader of the tribal alliance. During the reign of Yellow Emperor, silk cultivation, transportation, writing, music, medicine, and mathematics were invented and developed. His contributions were praised by later generations, and he is honored as the primitive ancestor of Chinese culture. Yellow Emperor, whose surname is Gongsun and given name is Shuan, was born in a matrilineal society. His mother's name was Fubao, and according to one account, he was born on the second day of the second lunar month by the Zhu River, now Zhu River in Huang County. Another account suggests his birth in Shouqiu, few east of the current Zhuan Xu in Shen Nong. This led to the belief in the auspicious saying long lives its head on the second day of the second month. Sima Qian described Yellow Emperor in the records of the grand historian as follows: born with divine spirit, able to speak when we followed righteousness in youth, wise and quick-witted in maturity, and intelligent in adulthood. It is evident that Yellow Emperor was an extraordinary individual from birth to maturity. After being acclaimed as the leader of the Zhuan tribal alliance and ascending to the imperial throne, Yellow Emperor made significant contributions by undergoing 53 battles, defeating Huang, subduing Yan Emperor, and eliminating Qiu. He unified the three major tribes, bidding farewell to the barbarian era and establishing the world's first country with a shared leader, making him the first emperor elected by the Chinese nation. Human civilization began from this point onward. Therefore, Yellow Emperor is revered as the primitive ancestor of culture and ancestor of civilization, surnamed Gongsun, an emperor from ancient times, and the son of the ruler of Yuxiang country, Shaodian. According to legend, Yellow Emperor's mother was named Fubao. It is said that one night, Fubao saw a lightning bolt surrounding the North Star. Immediately afterward, the Polaris star fell, and Fubao, sensing this, became pregnant. After 24 months of pregnancy, she gave birth to a boy, who later became Yellow Emperor. Yellow Emperor exhibited extraordinary divinity from birth, speaking shortly after being born. Later, he inherited the position of the ruler of Yuxiang. Because he invented the crown, he was called Zhuan. Also, because he ruled with the virtue of earth, and the color of earth is yellow, he was known as the Yellow Emperor. According to legend, when Yellow Emperor ascended the throne, there were 18 brothers of Qiu, claiming to be descendants of gods. All 18 had bodies of beasts with human faces, bronze heads, iron foreheads, did not eat grains, only consumed river stones, and did not obey Yellow Emperor's commands. They harmed the common people and killed the innocent, creating weapons and opposing Yellow Emperor. Yielding to public sentiment, Yellow Emperor summoned various vassals to mobilize troops to subdue Qiu. After 15 periods, they still couldn't defeat Qiu, so they had to retreat. Due to this, Yellow Emperor was deeply concerned and anxiously hoped for wise advisors to assist him in defeating Qiu. One night, Yellow Emperor dreamt that a strong wind blew away the dirt and dust from the entire world. Following that, he dreamt of a person wielding a crossbow of 1,000 jian, herding tens of thousands of sheep. Upon waking, he felt a sense of wonder. He pondered, when commands as the leader, dirt, being cleared by youth, does the world have people named wind and force? The crossbow of 1,000 jian symbolized hope for distant achievements, and herding tens of thousands of sheep represented the benevolence of a shepherd. Could there be individuals named Force and Shepherd? Subsequently, he dispatched subordinates throughout the world to search for these two people. The search resulted in finding Wind in a coastal area and Force by the side of a marsh. Yellow Emperor appointed Wind as his advisor and Force as his general, initiating a massive attack against Qiu. In the outskirts of Shuolu, the two armies set up formations for a grand battle. Qiu cast a dense fog over 100 li, persisting for 3 days and nights, causing soldiers to lose their direction. Yellow Emperor then ordered Wind to create a compass chariot. Simultaneously, the Queen Mother of the West sent Zhuan Xu to teach him secret strategies, the essence of the 5 musical notes, and political tactics. Wind, based on this, further developed the art of divination. With this, they recommenced the war in Zhuizhou. Qiu led his demonic forces, seeking the assistance of Wind God and Rain Master to summon winds and rain, directing the dragon to gather water to attack Yellow Emperor. Yellow Emperor sought the assistance of the Baxi in the east to stop the rain, and the Li and Tiang forces from the northern mountains to drive the dragon to the southern pole. Finally, they killed Qiu, dismembered his body, and scattered the remains to prevent him from having a complete burial. Later, another contender, Yugang, a descendant of Shen Nong, contested Yellow Emperor for supremacy. Yellow Emperor used the showbird, eagle, and trembling falcon as banners, with bears, black tigers, and leopards as vanguards, facing Yugang in the Battle of Bangguan. After 3 battles, They defeated Yugang. Yellow Emperor then personally led troops to conquer various princes who refused to submit. After a total of 52 battles, the world was finally united under his rule. Yellow Emperor then divided the land into states, established rituals and music, and educated the people. He also invented various tools and implements for daily convenience. Among these, Minister Kan Hu invented the upper garment, Bo Yu created the lower garment, and Yu Suang made shoes, ending the era of people wearing animal skins and tree bark. Yellow Emperor applied the principles of floating leaves to construct boats and ships, accompanied by drums, sailing on the water. Additionally, based on the principle of rotating windmill leaves, he invented vehicles, facilitating transportation. Huang Yong's father invented the spring, and Yellow Emperor subsequently directed people to make pots and steamers, allowing the people to steam rice and cook porridge. Later, he built houses and cities, enabling people to live comfortably rather than in caves. Yellow Emperor, along with Kibo, compiled medical knowledge for the treatment of diseases. He also standardized the names of all things in the world, divided the stars into 28 constellations, and established a calendar system based on 10 heavenly stems for days and 12 earthly branches for months, with 60-year cycles known as stems and branches. This laid the foundation for the concept of time and space. Historically, it is recorded that the people of that time enjoyed their food, admired their clothing, delighted in their customs, and lived in peace, portraying an era of great prosperity. One day, while Yellow Emperor was on the Luo River with his ministers, admiring the scenery, he suddenly saw a large bird carrying a pictorial scroll and placing it in front of him. Yellow Emperor quickly accepted the offering. Upon closer inspection, the bird resembled a crane with a rooster's head, swallow's beak, tortoise's neck, dragon's form, paired wings, and fish tail, displaying all 5 colors. The characters in the picture were Shan Di, Ran Yi, and Ran Zi, 6 words representing virtues and wisdom. Yellow Emperor had never seen such a bird before, so he inquired with Qian Lao. Qian Lao explained that the male is called Feng Phoenix, and the female is called Huang Phoenix. The morning call is Dang Chen, daytime call is Shang Xiang, evening call is Gui Chang, and the nighttime call is Bao Chang. The appearance of the phoenix indicates peace and prosperity in the world, a sign of great auspiciousness. Later, Yellow Emperor dreamed of 2 dragons emerging from the Yellow River, each holding a white scroll and presenting it to him. Perplexed, Yellow Emperor sought Qian Lao's advice. Tian Lao explained that this was a precursor to the manifestation of the He Tu and Luo Xu to symbolic diagrams. Subsequently, Yellow Emperor, along with Qian Lan and others, traveled between the Yellow River and Luo River. They sank the Bai stone into the river, performed the ritual of killing 3 sacrificial animals, and experienced 3 days of dense fog. Following that, there were 7 days and nights of heavy rain. Next, a yellow dragon emerged from the river, bearing the scroll, and Yellow Emperor knelt to receive it. The scroll displayed 5 colors with white, blue leaves, and red characters, precisely the He Tu and Luo Shu diagrams. Then, Yellow Emperor embarked on a tour of the world and conducted the Fengshan ceremony at Mount Tai. Hearing about a Taoist named Guang Changxi on Qiang Mountain, he visited him to seek guidance. Guang Changxi said, "Since you have governed the world, clouds no longer gather to bring rain, and grass and trees neither wither nor die. The brilliance of the sun and moon has diminished, and the world is becoming desolate. Meanwhile, the hearts of deceitful people are flourishing. Do you still deserve to discuss the highest Tao with me?" After returning, Yellow Emperor ceased to inquire about political matters. He built a small house, placed a mat inside, and spent 3 months in self-reflection. Later, he went back to Guang Changxi for further guidance. At that time, Guang Changxi was lying with his head to the south. Yellow Emperor knelt before him and asked how to achieve longevity. Guang Changxi suddenly rose and said, "This place is very nice." He then imparted the essence of the highest Tao. The essence of the highest Tao is subtle and mysterious. The culmination of the highest Tao is hazy and silent. Overlook and listen to nothing, embrace the divine in stillness. When form naturally aligns, there is stillness and purity. Without laboring to adorn the form and not disturbing the essence, one can achieve longevity. Close your eyes to what you see, close your ears to what you hear, close your mind to what you know. In this way, spirit and form merge into one, and longevity can be attained afterward. Huang gave him a school titled Natural Classic. Following Yanlang Emperor's inquiry with Huang Changzi, he ascended Wangwu mountain to obtain the Taoist scripture. He also sought advice on cultivating Da and preserving health from Zhuan Xu and Shen Nong. Later, he returned to Jinyan Hall to practice. He obtained copper from Shu Mountain, cast 9 tripods under Jing Mountain, and as soon as the tripods were finished, a dragon with long whiskers appeared, welcoming Yellow Emperor into the realm of immortality. Yellow Emperor immediately rode on the dragon and ascended into the sky. Some courtiers also wanted to ascend with him and hastily grabbed the dragon's whiskers. As a result, the dragon's whiskers broke, causing these courtiers to fall back to the ground. It is said that these fallen courtiers turned into dragon whisker grass. Shaha, the leader of an ancient tribal alliance in China, is revered by later generations as one of the 5 emperors and deified as a celestial god in the western heavens. His father is the Chai-Bai Zhenxing Venus, and his mother is the celestial beauty Huang from Qianshan. Shaohao of the Ji surname alternatively, Ying surname, name Zi, titled Zhenqiangshi, also known as Kenyangshi, and referred to as Shu Di, Bai Di, Shi Huang, Tiyong Sangshi, and Kong Sangshi. He ruled for 84 years, and his descendants later honored him as Gaozu in the spring and autumn period and revered him as the ancestral god emperor. Shaohao earned the epithet Qiyang Sangshi because his mother, Huan Yi, used to weave fabrics in the heavens. When exhausted, she would often rest and play under a large mulberry tree on the shores of the Western Sea. It was under this tree that she met Chai-Bai Zhensheng. The intelligent and beautiful Huang Yi wove fabrics with colorful threads every day in the heavenly palace, often working tirelessly into the late hours. Sometimes, for relaxation, she would ride a wooden raft and enjoy herself in the vast Milky Way. One day, riding her raft upstream along the Milky Way, she reached the shores of the Western Sea under the Qiangsang tree, where she anchored the raft. The tree was exceptionally tall, with deep roots and lush branches. Its leaves were red and its fruits were purple. Legend has it that this tree bore fruit once every 10,000 years, and consuming it could grant a lifespan longer than that of the heavens. While Huang Yi was lost in thought under the Qiangsang tree, she suddenly saw a handsome young man descending gracefully from the sky. Curious, she observed the young man with a face like a full moon, as like the morning star, emitting a faint radiance throughout his body. He looked very dashing, and Huang Yi couldn't help but be mesmerized. The young man approached Huang Yi elegantly, bowed deeply, and said, "Hello, immortal Huang Yi. I am the son of Bai Di Venus, willing to be friends with you." Huang Yi exclaimed, "Ah, you are the morning star, also called Venus. So, it's you. I often sit here, looking up at the morning star in the eastern sky, thinking how bright, beautiful, and diligent it is, bringing daylight to the mortal realm every day." She stopped herself, feeling a rush of warmth and heartbeat, blushing. The face of the morning star also blushed slightly, expressing his emotions. "I feel the same way. Whenever I ascend to the sky, my first glance is always at you, feeling that you are incredibly beautiful. I inquired with other stars and learned that you are the skilled and artistic Huang Yi. The colorful brocades you weave are as beautiful as you. I hear the sound of your weaving every night, and its delightful melody keeps me awake. Every morning, I eagerly anticipate your appearance by the Milky Way." Morning Star opened his heart at once, realizing he was too excited. He quickly stopped talking, blushing, and looked at Huang Yi with embarrassment. Huang Yi shyly lowered her head, hands playing with her flowing black hair, concealing her pounding heart. Morning Star smiled, extended his hand, and summoned a shining silver lyre. Embracing the lyre against the Qiangsang tree, he played a beautiful melody. Huang Yi was immediately captivated by the music and couldn't help singing along with the enchanting tune of Morning Star. The lyre's melody expressed affectionate feelings, and Huang Yi's singing conveyed her admiring sentiments. The singing and music were melodious, attracting fish to swim in groups on the water, exciting flowers to bloom. A phoenix flew in, dancing gracefully in the air. Nightingales came, opening their throats to accompany Huang Yi and Morning Star with their singing. Their hearts drew closer as they stepped onto the raft, using branches of the cinnamon tree as masts and fragrant tubes tied to the cinnamon trees, top as banners. They even carved a bird called Jade Dove, placing it on the mast top for direction. The raft floated in the Milky Way. Accompanied by the melodious and lingering lyre, Huang couldn't help but sing along. The beautiful lyre and the graceful singing merged into one. Huang and morning star snuggled together, immersed in the happiness of love. Fish played gleefully alongside the raft, and the phoenix soared in the laughter of the happy couple. Huang and morning star joyfully drifted along. Before long, their love's fruition son, Shan was born. When Shan was born, there were 5 phoenixes in the sky, each with a different color, generated according to the colors of the 5 directions: red, yellow, blue, white, and black. They flew down into Shan's courtyard, hence he was also known as the Phoenix clan. Shan initially took the Zhuan Nong, or swallow, as the totem of his clan. Later, during his leadership in the Great Alliance, a phoenix flew in, bringing great joy. Consequently, he changed the totem to the phoenix and worshipped the phoenix as the clan's deity, establishing a large tribal society, with 24 clans named after birds, such as Fang Na clan, Zhuan Nao clan, King Nao clan, all centered around the totem of the phoenix. Under the careful nurturing of his parents, Shan possessed magical talents and extraordinary abilities. As he grew up, he became the leader of his clan. He established a country on the shores of the Eastern Sea and implemented a unique system, using various birds as officials and cultural symbols. The specific roles were assigned based on the characteristics of different bird species. The phoenix oversaw all birds, with swallows in charge of spring, shrikes in charge of summer, parrots in charge of autumn, and pheasants in charge of winter. In addition, 5 other birds were appointed to manage daily affairs. The filial pheasants were responsible for education, fierce raptors for military affairs, fair cuckoos for construction, majestic eagles for law enforcement, and eloquent doves for communication. 9 types of escort birds managed agriculture to ensure the people were not indulgent and dissolute. 5 types of wild chickens respectively managed woodworking, lacquer work, pottery, dyeing, and leatherwork. In short, various birds utilized their talents to the fullest, each in their designated roles, coordinating activities. Therefore, during meetings, the birds chirp in unison, creating a lively atmosphere with agile sparrows, colorful phoenixes, common magpies, and eye-catching peacocks. Emperor Shan, based on the reports from the birds, rewarded or punished achievements and mistakes, maintaining a well-organized governance. The birds were all grateful for Shan's kindness and benevolent rule, admiring his intelligence and talent. Zhuan Xu was the ancient leader of a tribal alliance in China, known as Yangshi. According to legend, Zhuan Xu was the grandson of the Yellow Emperor and resided at Emperor Qiyu near present-day Puyang in Henan province. He was known for his intelligence, wisdom, and strategic abilities, earning high respect among the people. The territory he ruled extended widely, from the northern regions around Hebei province to the south beyond the Nanling Mountains, west to the areas around present-day Gansu, and east to some islands in the East China Sea. Ancient historical records describe how, wherever Zhuan Xu inspected, he received enthusiastic receptions from the tribal communities. The Wayinanji in the chapter Shen mentions, at the northern extreme, Zhuan Xu and Yiwanming, also known as Zhuanming, the water authority of the north, were in charge, overseeing a territory of 12,000 miles. The records of the Grand Historian, in the section Annals of the 5 Emperors, states, from the north to Yumen, south to Jiaozi, west to Liusha, east to Fanmu, all beings, gods of different sizes, and everything illuminated by the sun and moon were under his jurisdiction. Zhuan Xu was truly an emperor whose benevolence and achievements covered the entire universe. In the book Command Records Within the Spring and Autumn Weave, it is mentioned that the Zhuan Xu tribe lasted for 20 generations, over 350 years, while the examination of the charts in the Book of Changes Weave suggests it lasted for 500 years. Emperor Ku, with the surname Ji, was a prominent tribal alliance leader in ancient China during the early stages of history. In the later period of the Spring and Autumn and Warring States, he was revered as the 3rd emperor among the 3 sovereigns and 5 emperors. He was the great-grandson of the Yellow Emperor, born with divine spirit, and proclaimed his own name. According to the records of the Grand Historian, Annals of the 5 Emperors, Emperor Ku, also known as Gaoxin, was the great-grandson of the Yellow Emperor. His father was Zhaoji, Zhaoji's father was Shuang Xiyao, and Shuang Xiao's father was the Yellow Emperor. Both Shuang Xiao and Zhaoji did not ascend to the throne, and Emperor Ku succeeded to the imperial position. He was a clan member of Zhuan Xu. Emperor Ku was born with divine spirit and claimed his own name. He generously benefited others without seeking personal gain, possessed keen intelligence to understand distant matters, and had a bright discernment of the subtle. He followed the righteousness of heaven, understood the urgency of the people, and ruled with benevolence and authority. He was kind and imposing, benevolent and trustworthy, cultivated himself, and gained the submission of the entire realm. He acquired the wealth of the land while being frugal, nurtured and educated the people, marked the passage of days and months, revered spirits and deities, and performed rituals with respect. His demeanor was rich, and his virtue was eminent. His actions were timely, and his attire was noble. Emperor Ku irrigated the central regions and extended his influence throughout the entire realm, all under the heavens, wherever the sun and moon shone, and whenever wind and rain arrived, all submitted to his rule. Emperor Ku married a woman from the Chanfen clan, and their son was Fangsan. He also married a woman from the Si clan, and their son was Si. When Emperor Ku passed away, Si succeeded him. However, Emperor Si was not virtuous, and his younger brother Fangsan took the throne, becoming Emperor Yao. The lineage of Emperor Ku, according to the book Command Records and the Spring and Autumn Weave, lasted for 10 generations, over 400 years, while the examination of the charts in the Book of Changes we suggest it lasted for 350 years. Emperor Si, the oldest son of Emperor Ku and the elder brother of Yao, is believed to have ruled from approximately 2306 to the 2298 of BCE. Historical records vary regarding Emperor Si's experiences and fate. According to Huang myth chronicles of the emperors and kings, Emperor Si's mother ranked fourth among the consorts and gave birth to Si, the eldest among the siblings, securing his ascent to the throne. Emperor Si appointed his half-brother, Emperor Fangsan, as the Duke of Tang. During his 9-year reign, Emperor Si had a weak rule, while the Duke of Tang, known for his virtue, gained the support of the feudal lords. Recognizing the righteousness of the Duke of Tang, Emperor Si voluntarily abdicated, leading his ministers to offer the throne to the Duke of Tang. Acknowledging his destiny, the Duke of Tang accepted the imperial mandate and subsequently bestowed the title of Gaoxin on Emperor Si. However, Sima Qian's records of the Grand Historian provides a different account, stating Emperor Ku passed away and Si succeeded him. Emperor Si ruled, but his rule was not virtuous. Emperor Fangsan then took the throne, becoming Emperor Yao the king. Era historian Ma Sui, in his work Yishi, The History of Chinese Emperors, adds that Emperor Si's reign was marked by excessive indulgence, leading the feudal lords to depose him. They then acclaim Yao as the heavenly ruler. Ma Sui notes, different accounts suggest that Emperor Si either died, abdicated, or was deposed. The various explanations differ. Concerning Yao, Huang myth chronicles of the emperors and kings and Ma Sui's Yishi cite a passage from Emperor Yao's biography, stating that at the age of 15, Yao assisted Emperor Si, received the title of Chan as a feudal lord, and ascended to the imperial throne at the age of 20, establishing the capital at Pingyang. Yao. Emperor Yao was an ancient tribal alliance leader in China. His surname was Zhi, his given name was Yao, and his courtesy name was Fangsan. Due to being granted the territory of Tang, he is also referred to as Dang Yao. Both the Zhuan Xu in the records of the Grand Historian mention his name as Fangsan. In later legends, Yao is also said to be known as Tao Tang, hence the additional title of Tang Yao. Shun. Emperor Shun was another ancient tribal alliance leader in China. He belonged to the Zhi family, and his given name was Shun, with the courtesy name Zhonghua. He was associated with the Yu clan, and therefore, he is often called Yu Shan. According to legend, Yao appointed Shan as regent based on the recommendation of the Four Peaks. Shan undertook extensive travels, eliminating individuals like Gan, Gonggang, Huang, and the Three Mao. After Yao's passing, Shan ascended to the throne, seeking counsel from the Four Peaks, selecting capable individuals to govern, and choosing Yu, who had distinguished himself in flood control, as his successor. Part 5. The world at that time. Egypt, Mesopotamia, Greece, in India. Around the 4500 of BCE. Under the Neolithic era, archaeologically known as the Badarian culture period till the 3600 BCE. Mesopotamian civilization. Transition to the Copper and Stone Age, archaeologically referred to as the Elamite period total the 3500th of BCE. Around the 3600th of BCE, Egypt entered the patrilineal Yuan period, archaeologically known as the Naqada culture period till the 3500th of BCE. Around the 3500th of BCE, the emergence of the initial slave-holding states in Egypt, called Sepiu in Egyptian and Nomos in Greek, translated as provinces. This marks the archaeological Naqada the second culture period to the 3100th BCE. The dissolution of the primitive communal system, leading to the rise of Sumerian city-states, known archaeologically as the Uruk culture period to the 3100th BCE. Around the 3100th BCE, Upper Egypt, under the rule of King Menes, conquered Lower Egypt, establishing the first dynasty and entering the early dynastic period in Egypt till the 2686 BCE. The formation of states in summer, with many slave-holding nations emerging, archaeologically termed the Jandat Nasser culture period, encompassing the early dynastic eye into periods to the 2700 BCE. Around the 3000 BCE, Semitic-speaking Akkadians entered the Mesopotamian region, establishing the Akkadian state. The Achaean in Sicily entered the Copper and Stone Age. Around the 2900 BCE, Palestine entered the early Bronze Age, with the Semitic-speaking Canaanites settling and adopting agriculture. Around the 2700 BCE, later part of the early dynastic period, also known as the Ancient Sumerian period to the 2371 BCE, marked the zenith of the slave system. Around the 2686 BCE, Egypt entered the Old Kingdom period to the 2181 BCE, witnessing a new era in politics, economy, and culture with the construction of pyramids by various pharaohs. Around the 2600 BCE, the Aegean region entered the Bronze Age, representing the earliest Bronze Age culture in Europe. Around the 2371 BCE, Akkadians unified the southern Mesopotamian region, establishing the Akkadian Empire until around the 2230th BCE, with Sargon the Great as its founder 2371 to the 2316th BCE. Around the 2315th BCE, Lugalza JC ascended the throne in the Akkadian Empire until around the 2307 BCE. In his early reign, uprisings occurred throughout summer, and Lugalza JC suppressed them, expanding his influence to Elam and the Persian Gulf. Around the 2306 BCE, a coup took place in the Akkadian Empire. Lugalza JC was killed, and his brother Manashteshu assumed part till the 2292 BCE. Manashteshu expanded to the southwest of Iran, defeating an alliance of 12 cities. Around the 2300 BCE, the Indus Valley civilization flourished, with major cities like Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa representing the Harappan civilization. Around the 2291 BCE, Naram Sin ascended the throne in the Akkadian Empire till the 2255 BCE, marking the empire's peak. Naram Sin suppressed uprisings in Europe, Wama, and other regions, expanding Akkadian influence to Syria, Arabia, and beyond. Around the 2254 BCE, Shah Khan Shari ascended the throne in the Akkadian Empire till the 2230 BCE. During his reign, the empire declined and was eventually destroyed by the Gutians in the 2230 BCE. Around the 2230 BCE, Gutians invaded Mesopotamia, overthrowing and ruling over the region for nearly a century till the 2150 BCE. Around the 2181 BCE, Egypt entered the first intermediate period till the 2040 BCE, marked by the world's first recorded large-scale slave and peasant uprising, known as the Aegean Civilization Revolt. Around the 2113 BCE, Sumerians expelled the Gutians, establishing the more centralized free dynasty to the 2006 BCE. Urnammu, the dynasty's founder, compiled the universally recognized Code of Laws, the Urnammu Code, the world's first written legal code. During this time, the southern Mesopotamian region entered the Bronze Age. Around the 2040 BCE, Egypt reunited after a period of division, entering the Middle Kingdom period to the 1786 of BCE. During this time, Egypt's slave economy experienced significant development. Around the 2000th of BCE, Greece entered the Bronze Age with the gradual disintegration of primitive societies and the formation of slave states in Crete. Italy entered the Bronze Age, witnessing the emergence of the Tremare culture in northern Italy and the Apennine culture in central and southern Italy. Part 6. Ancient Mythical Beasts. Ancient 6 celestial beasts: white tiger, black tortoise, vermilion bird, Yasha dragon, hook-tailed viper, soaring snake. White tiger. In China, the white tiger is considered a war god and a deity of conquest. Tigers are believed to possess various divine powers, including warding off evil, averting disasters, promoting abundance, punishing evil, encouraging goodness, bringing wealth and prosperity, and fostering successful unions. It is one of the 4 symbols, and of course, transformed from constellations. It originated from the 7 Western constellations among the 28 constellations: Kui, Lu, Wei, and Bai, Sui, Shan. Therefore, it represents the West, and its whiteness is attributed to the western direction, which corresponds to the metal element in the 5 elements system. So, it is called the white tiger not because it is white, but based on the 5 elements. Black tortoise. The black tortoise is a spiritual being formed by the combination of a tortoise and a snake. The original meaning of black tortoise is mysterious and dark. The ancient pronunciations of Wu and Ming are interchangeable. Wu means black, and Ming means yin or darkness. Initially, black darkness was used to describe turtle divination, as the turtle's back is black. Turtle divination involves inviting the turtle to the underworld to consult ancestors, bringing back the answers and revealing them to the world in the form of divination. Therefore, the earliest black tortoise refers to the turtle. Later on, the meaning of black darkness expanded continuously. Turtles inhabit rivers, lakes, and seas, including sea turtles, so black tortoise became associated with water deities. As turtles are long-lived, black tortoise became a symbol of immortality. The initial underworld was in the north, as seen in the divination of the Shun dynasty oracle bones. Divination must face north, hence, black tortoise also became a representation of the north. Vermilion bird. Vermilion bird is also referred to as the Zhuan Xu. It is one of the 4 symbols, collectively representing the 7 constellations in the southern direction: Zhen, Gui, Liu, Xing, Shang, Yi, San. When combined, they form a bird shape, also known as the Zhuan Xu. Shu refers to the color red, resembling fire, and as the southern direction is associated with the fire element, it is named Vermilion bird. Vermilion bird is distinct from the phoenix. The concept of the Zhuan Xu is derived from the Shi Zhen classic of poetry in the passage Jian Ming Zhuan Xu Zhang Shang Shan. Ta Yin Mang the mandate of heaven, Zhuan Xu descended and gave birth to the Shun, which raised the myriad states. In this context, it is stated that the progenitor of the Shang dynasty, Ti, was born from the Zhuan Xu, establishing the powerful Shang dynasty. Therefore, the Zhuan Xu became the progenitor of the Shang. The Shiji records of the grand historian also records this history. Yan Qi, his mother was Jin Di, a woman from the Rongdi tribe, and Emperor Ku's concubine. The 3 of them, weaved together, saw the Zhuan Xu following its eggs. Jin Di took and swallowed it, and subsequently became pregnant and gave birth to Ti, whether Zhuan Xu or Phoenix. Both evolved with the development of Taoism, transforming from a bird, whether a sparrow, peacock, or pheasant, into a half-human, half-bird celestial being, and later into a fully human celestial being. This evolution aligns with the development of Taoism. In Beijing, there were 3 temples dedicated to the worship of the Zhuanan, known as the Nine Sky Goddess Temple and Zhuanan Temple. Similar temples dedicated to Zhuanan can also be found in both northern and southern regions. Yasha dragon. In China, the status of the dragon far surpasses that in India. In China, the dragon is considered a divine being, the most supreme, and the symbol of the emperor. It represents the east and belongs to the wood element and the 5 elements. The concept of Yasha dragon is closely tied to the colors, associating the east with the color blue, hence the term Yasha dragon along with the concept of white tiger on the right side. The 28 constellations are divided into 4 palaces: east, south, west, and north, each with 7 stars. To facilitate memory, ancient people imagined them as a kind of animal known as the 4 symbols. The east is represented by the Asher dragon and 7 constellations. The constellations used to symbolize the Asher dragon are the 7 constellations in the east: Zhao, Kan, Di, Fang, Shen, Wei, Zhi. These were imagined by ancient people as the form of a dragon. Being in the east and following the principles of yin and yang, the 5 elements and color associations, the east is associated with the color blue, giving rise to the name Asher dragon. There are also beliefs in the dragon's lustful nature, claiming that mating with an ox produces a kiln and mating with a pig produces an elephant. The dragon is also said to have 9 offspring, each with unique characteristics. The eldest son Qiu loves music and is often depicted standing on a musical instrument. The second son, Yabi, loves killing and is often depicted on weapons to intimidate. The third son is Chaofang, a beast with the shape of a dragon, like a dog, good at reconnaissance, often placed in the corner of the palace to ward off evil and avoid disaster. The fourth son, Pula, likes to roar, which is depicted on the bow. It is said that it lives by the sea, is afraid of whales, and will make a loud sound when threatened by whales. The whale-shaped gavel was made to give the bronze bow a particularly loud sound. The fifth son, Xuani, looks like a lion. He was introduced to Buddhism and is known for his calmness and love of fireworks. Often placed on Buddhist altars or incense burners is amulets. Sixth son, Baxia, also known as tourmaline, shaped like a turtle. Legend has it that it carries 3 mountains and 5 peaks and creates storms. After being tamed by Da Yu, it was sent to carry out its own exploits and is often depicted carrying stone tablets. The seventh son, the other shore, also known as the celestial palm, it looks like a tiger. It is said that he upholds justice and has the ability to distinguish right from wrong. They are often placed on plaques at prison entrances, court halls, and on signs carried by officials during their rounds to maintain the dignity of the court. The eighth son, Fuxi, likes literature and often writes on stone tablets. Ninth son, Chiwen, also known as Chuai. It is a fish-shaped dragon that was introduced with Buddhism from India's Moye during the northern and southern dynasties. According to Buddhist scriptures, it is a creature under the seat of the rain god and can extinguish fire. Therefore, red stripes are often placed at both ends of the roof ridge to prevent disasters and extinguish fire. Guchan is an ancient constellation name originating from the ancient Chinese people's worship of celestial bodies. It is a product of the combination of ancient Chinese mythology and astronomy. Among the ancient 6 gods, Guchan belongs to the earth element along with Changxi. In the Yi Mao, it is mentioned the form of Guchuan is actually named Kelan, located in the center, in charge of the day of the earth element. It is a benevolent beast, using earth virtue for governance. The rise of Tangxi, in association with Guchuan, roams and patrols in the front, in charge of the day of the wood element. It is a fire god paired with earth virtue to function. There is also a belief that Guchuan is the divine beast Diama mentioned in the Shanghai Zhen classic of mountains and seas, Cheng Snake. In ancient texts, there is mention of a snake that can fly. The Tang snake is described as elusive and untrustworthy, often associated with deceit, cunning, and suspicion. It is characterized by falsehood, empty promises, difficulty in relying on, insincere emotions, and deceptive behavior. It is considered the master of the void, lacking sincerity, and the individual associated with it is deemed hypocritical, crafty, and unreliable in their words. Tang snake symbolism. The Chang snake is associated with a complex and cunning nature. It embodies inner suspicions, worries, and a high level of skepticism. It represents a state of constant anxiety, preoccupation, and tangled thoughts, leading to a restless and uneasy mind or confusion. This serpent is characterized by an unsatisfied disposition, adept at concealing true intentions and avoiding transparency. It prefers not to reveal its true nature and tends to hide behind a facade. The Tang snake is often depicted as a snake, rope, cord, or a strap, symbolizing its flexible and entwining nature that is hard to unravel. In terms of appearance, the Tang snake is described as unattractive and lacking in aesthetic appeal. It is associated with smooth and glossy textures. Moreover, it represents toxicity, poison, and harmful substances, often linked to incidents of poisoning. The tongue snake is considered venomous and malicious, symbolizing a treacherous mouth. It is depicted as a creature of change, exhibiting a mysterious and unpredictable nature. It is associated with strangeness, oddity, supernatural qualities, and a penchant for peculiar behavior. The tongue snake is less common and tends to be enigmatic. This serpent brings about surprise, shock, unexpected events, and a sense of alarm. It induces a state of discomfort, mental unrest, and emotional turmoil. The tongue snake is connected to darkness, nighttime, secrecy, and the need to guard against malicious intentions. It is linked to dreams, often resulting in vivid and unsettling dreams, disrupting peaceful sleep. In terms of color, the tongue snake is associated with yellow, black, and white hues. It is also associated with paths or roads, suggesting a journey with uncertain and challenging twists.